Sometimes we find it difficult with the Lama. He may say to do something, and even if we do it that way, he then says no, and he says do it differently. It is so difficult to please him. We work hard in the hot sun or cold while thirsty or hungry, and for years we bear criticism from people who complain about us from the east, from the west, from all 10 directions. On top of that, after we have explained our work to the Lama, our Guru, expecting a compliment, oh, that's very good, fantastic, thank you, we get something else instead. We have a hard time being squeezed so much. It's difficult to do work and not knowing exactly what to do, exactly what the Lama wants. The scolding of the Guru is like a wrathful mantra, purifying your hindrances, purifying your negative karma. The conclusion is that all the hardships and criticisms become incredibly worthwhile. Why? He is destroying your ego, your attachment. Did you do the work to get a compliment? If he says do it like that and you come back and you do it like that and he says no, do it the other way. If you get angry, it shows how he's mirroring your feelings. He's mirroring your minds. He's showing you how attached, what an angry person, impatient person you are. How kind that person even is there to put up with that kind of action. In the Lamrim, it says that if the Lama shows he is pleased, it doesn't mean that he is really pleased. Or if the Lama shows he is displeased, it doesn't mean that he is really displeased. Maybe his mind is actually pleased, but his aspect has to show displeasure for some purpose. This is what a skillful, perfect, real Guru does. When Lama gives, it's like this, so you can't really judge. When you think, oh, my Lama's manifesting like this, now I am going to be completely berserk. It doesn't mean that he is necessarily displeased. Perhaps he's testing you. The more we think of these good qualities, the more our wrong thoughts are obscured, cut down. You see, it's common to be able to see many good qualities that we don't have ourselves in someone else. And when we see these qualities, we can find fault at the same time. So it's a puzzle, sometimes seeing fault and then these good qualities. It is seeing these qualities that, however, stops the thought of finding fault from rising. As the great Lama Tsongkhapa said, the more we see good qualities, the less we see mistakes in others, the smaller and weaker their faults become. How do we know what we're seeing is reliable? How do we know we're reliable? Forget a guru who may be meditationally advanced and shows different aspects to you. Angry, not angry, happy, sad, enjoying, not enjoying, relaxing, studying, showing you different aspects. Forget a guru that is probably potentially very advanced in his meditation. Even an ordinary person, when we meet them, we don't know. We cannot trust our judgment whether they are doing right or wrong. Sometimes when we see someone, we think, oh, very bad, very, very, very mean, not a nice person. When we talk to them, we find out they're a very nice person. And vice versa. How can we judge a guru by what he's doing exactly? How can we judge? What we're trying to say is, how can you depend on your limited abilities to judge? How can you depend? How do you know your guru is not enlightened, manifesting in an ordinary way? How do you know your guru is not Buddha Shakyamuni's emanation? How do you know that your guru has not the best intentions for you? How do you know? How can you make that differentiation? How can you judge? Cannot. We have oceans and oceans of mistakes. We have very few good qualities. Looking at ourselves honestly in terms of your few qualities obscured by all your mistakes so that you see only your good qualities. This is how your mind has been trained to see yourself. Even with all your negative qualities, all your negative traits, all your bad qualities and delusions, still you have trained yourself to see yourself in a good way. So if you look at the Guru in the same way, your mind can be trained to develop Guru devotion. Similarly, and I'm sure your personal Gurus have much more good qualities than you for you to base your training on. The great Kache Yeshe Gyaltsen quoted, I am so fortunate to be able to find even a few qualities in the Guru. If even my impure mind is able to see this many qualities, how many qualities must be seen by someone whose mind is pure? Think of how many non-virtuous thoughts arise in each day. Your mind is constantly overwhelmed by negative karma and disturbing thoughts, which obscure your mind and create obstacles. Think, with a mind so heavily obscured by impure karma, impure view, it is a miracle that you see anything pure in your Guru at all. It is incredible. With so much negative karma, with so much suffering, with so much delusions and illusions and ignorance, it's incredible that you can see one or two good qualities of your Guru at all. How can you judge your teacher then? The one who teaches you the path to enlightenment? How can you? On a logical basis. No one has asked you, no one has put a gun to your head and said, this is your Guru. You make the choice. You examine. You check out his qualities, which we'll talk about shortly. You check out, does he have the qualifications to be a guru? Do you have affinity? Do you have faith and confidence? No one is forcing you. No one is making you. No guru say, come, be my disciple. No one. Once you have made a choice, it is sealed. You must follow the proper conduct of a guru and disciple. The proper conduct. No two ways about it. No leniency. You want enlightenment? You need the Dharma. You need the Dharma, you need the guru. If you have the guru, you must follow the conduct with the spiritual teacher. If your piano teacher comes and you beat them, and you cough at them, sneeze at them, you point your feet at them, you punch them, you shout at them, you scream at them, you tell them all your problems, I don't think they're going to come back the next day. Unless they're crazy, of course. How about your guru who teaches you enlightenment? When you make a promise to your guru, it should be kept. You are not making a promise to an ordinary person, to an ordinary being. You are making a promise to a person who is holding the 253 Prakti Moksha vows, who study and practice Dharma 24 hours a day, who meditate, who pray, who teaches, who has the blessings of the Buddhas. In Manjushri Tantra, he quotes, in the future, the Buddhas will appear in ordinary form, in the form of your gurus. If he appears to you in his regular form, how will you see him? Can you see the Buddha? Can you see Shakyamuni? Can you see Kuan Yin? Can you see Manjushri? Can you see? Cannot. If you cannot see and hear them, how will you get the teachings? If they manifest in a very high form, you cannot see them. If they manifest in a very low form, it's of no benefit to you, like a bridge, like a dog. Of course, their manifestations are there. They have the power to manifest to benefit. But they manifest in a medium form, in the form of an ordinary human being with their problems, with their so-called problems, with their so-called delusions and faults, so that they can be closer with you, so that you can relate to them easier, so that they can use themselves as an example for you to show you how you can also improve, that you have hope also. If a guru manifested perfectly, doesn't touch the ground, walks 3 cubits up on the ground, is floating, has a halo around him, never smells, doesn't have to take a bath, how will you ever think, oh, I can't get near that? That's not accomplishable by me. If you have a Buddha or enlightened being who manifests in an ordinary way, in a simple way, in a way that you can relate to, with all the so-called problems that you have, and started off the same way you did and gradually improve, it is inspiring. It is moving. It is excellent for us. It is an example. It's exemplary. Generally, even the appearance of purity or beauty in sense objects depend on your karma or your mind. Since the appearance of everything depends on your mind, on your karma, there is no way for a Buddha to manifest other than according to your karma. There is no other way for you to see the Buddha. Now, since your karma is impure, you can see this by thinking about even one day of your life. The only way a Buddha can manifest is in an ordinary form, which means having mistakes and delusions according to your karma. A glass of water will be seen by a spirit. They will see it according to karma as putrid, as mucus, as urine, undrinkable because of their karma. A human being will see the water as an object to drink. The gods will see it as nectar, according to their karma. Likewise, when we see one person will like them, another person will hate them, another person will have neutral feelings. It is not that object, it is not that person. It is your karma that forces you to see it that way, this way, or that way. Even if the Buddha manifests in a pure way, you will see impurities, like Devadatta, who saw Buddha as impure all the time. Tried to kill him, tried to murder him, tried to defame him, of course, cannot be successful. Even if your gurus are perfect, you will not be able to perceive it. You will see them as imperfect. Why? Because your karma is imperfect. Because your obscurities and your ignorance is deep. So you will always see your gurus as imperfect, even if your guru is perfect. The great Arya Asanga meditated on Maitreya Buddha for 12 years. After 12 years of meditation, when he finally left his cave to give up, he saw a dog filled with maggots outside. In the 12 years of meditation on Maitreya Buddha, which is compassion, which is love, Yawajamba, Maitreya means love, Maitre is love in Sanskrit. He saw a dog outside filled with maggots. Out of great compassion, he didn't dare just take the maggots off and kill them. He didn't also dare to leave it there because it was hurting the dog. So he cut a piece of his flesh so the maggots have something to eat, not starve to death, and then bent down and licked the maggots off one by one with his tongue. If he used his hands, he would crush them and kill them. Out of great compassion, he licked the maggots off the dog and put it on with his eyes closed with all the blood and the pus and the smell, rotten, licking one maggot and putting it on its own flesh that he has cut off. Then, after licking it for a few minutes, the dog was there, he opened his eyes, Maitreya Buddha was standing in front of him. And he shouted at Maitreya Buddha out of frustration, I meditated you on for 12 years. Where were you? Where have you been? Why you come now? And Maitreya Buddha said, I have been with you for all 12 years. Due to your karmic obscuration, you could not see me. You had one last karmic obscuration left that was purified. I manifested myself as a dog ridden with maggots to see your compassion. The minute you were able to develop that compassion, the last vestige of your negative karma is purified. Now you can see me. If you do not believe me, pick me up and take me to the market and see who sees me. Arya Asanga took Maitreya and put him on his shoulders and proudly took him into town and said, hey everybody, look at Maitreya Buddha, look at Maitreya Buddha. Some people saw an old, maggot-ridden dog. Some people didn't see anything. One old woman who had slightly good karma saw the foot of Maitreya only, just the foot, a golden, beautiful, lotus-like foot glowing. And then the Arya Asanga was convinced. You cannot trust your senses, cannot trust. You don't know what your guru is. She may look like an ordinary person, an ordinary being, sick, getting hungry. Maybe he's getting sick in order to let you practice compassion and kindness. Maybe he is poor to help you to practice charity. Maybe he shows anger to teach you patience, to see if you have patience, if you can develop it. How do you know his actions are not a reflection of your own actions? How do you know? You cannot judge your eyes. You cannot judge your faulty eyes, your faulty mind, and your faulty decisions. You cannot. From morning to night, how many faulty decisions do we make? How can we trust ourselves? It would be better to assume that our guru is a Buddha than to make the drastic mistake to think he is not a Buddha. The guru is made up of 4 elements. Water, air, earth, and fire. The statues are made up of 4 elements. Earth, air, water, and fire. This is not a Buddha. This is a representative of the Buddha. This Buddha cannot eat. He cannot move. He cannot teach. He cannot feel. He cannot console you. He just sits there staring at you, waiting for more offerings. Whereas if you can visualize this as the Buddha, why can't you visualize your guru as the actual living Buddha? They're made of the same materials. In fact, your guru would be much better visualization because he can actually eat what you offer to him, therefore collecting merit. He can actually console you. When you request for Dharma, he can actually teach you. He can actually guide you and help you. The guru is no other but Buddha. Buddha Shakyamuni in the form of Vajradhara has preached and has predicted in the time of degenerate times, in the future, I will manifest in the form of ordinary monks, ordinary teachers, to guide, to teach you, to help you, to assist you. He has already predicted. That was predicted by Buddha Vajradhara himself, which is just Shakyamuni, another name. Just another name. It was Buddha Vajradhara himself who said that your spiritual teacher is to be seen as a Buddha. Therefore, if you have faith and take refuge in the Buddha's teachings, you will try to understand what Buddha meant by this statement. Buddhas exert a great positive influence on the world, in the same way as does the sun. But just as the magnifying glass is needed to focus the rays of the sun in order for the tinder to catch fire, so too a spiritual teacher is required to focus the Buddha's enlightening influence onto the disciple's mind stream and inspire him or her to follow a spiritual path. Thus, as living examples representing the Buddhas, spiritual teachers carry on the work of all enlightened beings, acting as an accessible focal point for your practice to gain Buddhahood yourself. If your spiritual teacher acts in a seemingly unenlightened manner and you feel it would be hypocritical to think him or her a Buddha, you should remember that your own opinions are unreliable and that the apparent faults you may see may be a reflection of your own deluded states of mind. Also, you should think that if your spiritual teacher acted in a completely perfect manner, he or she would be inaccessible and you would be unable to relate to him or her. It is therefore out of your spiritual teacher's great compassion that he or she may show apparent flaws. This is part of his or her skillful means in teaching you. Your teacher is mirroring your own faults, therefore check within and learn how to remove your shortcomings. If you are only intent on criticizing your teacher, you will never be able to benefit from him or her, or finding faults only. Through a wholehearted commitment to your spiritual teacher, showing respect, serving him or her, making offerings, you build up a positive potential that will allow you to become liberated from all your sufferings. Such service is done not to benefit your teacher, but for your own sake. When you plant seeds in a field, it is not to benefit the earth, it is to benefit yourself. You will harvest the crops. Therefore, with proper committed attitude towards your spiritual teacher, seeing him or her as a Buddha, the positive energy you exert in his or her direction, the closer you come towards Buddhahood itself. Likewise, if you hate your spiritual teacher, generate negative energy towards him or her, you are deliberately casting yourself away from his or her state of enlightenment and freedom from pain, which they represent. As a result, you bring intense suffering upon yourself. Therefore, if you see faults in your spiritual teacher and tend to belittle him or her, remember that your opinions are unreliable and only unhappiness can result from despising the state of happiness he or she represents. Remember your spiritual teacher's kindness to teach you during this degenerate age after Buddha Shakyamuni has passed away. You must develop loving respect for him or her. Your teacher guides you despite your delusions and does not force you to undergo very difficult hardships like Milarepa and others have to endure in the past. He or she gives you initiations, oral teachings, transmits the unbroken lineage of Dharma coming from the Buddha. Your spiritual teacher inspires you to attain the state and helps you materially when you need it. If you lack loving respect for your teacher, it is impossible to become enlightened. If you do not have respect for the state of Buddhahood he represents, how can you attain what you do not respect, what you despise, what you belittle?